Q101, yada yada yada, baseball, knuckleball. Give me all the insights, lip reading, all that good stuff. Jimmy O'Brien, known to internet mortals as JOMBOY, is with us. The World Series is going on with these two other cities that are on the other coast of the country, though. We're talking about it. And warehouse games. Who needs the World Series when you can make your own game and turn it into an internet sensation? JOMBOY, how is it to be the coolest person in baseball who isn't playing baseball?
Oh, I think my co-host Trevor Plouffe would argue with you there, but I appreciate it.
I have more fun watching you, because baseball still is this sport where there's just so many things about it for even people that have played it their entire lives or watch it, where there's just all these little techniques you don't know unless you're like really in the weeds with it. And there's just some stuff that you break down. Is there people that you've explained something to with baseball? They're like, I play this and I didn't even know that. There's just so many things you know about this. I'm like, and you describe it in a very hilarious and entertaining way, obviously, with these breakdowns.
Yeah, I think a lot of times the way I can explain something makes sense in a player's head, but they wouldn't be able to vocalize it in a succinct way. So It's really being able to break it down in casual terms. I remember I met Raul Ibanez at spring training. I was very excited because he had some big home runs for my Yankees in 2012 or 2013. And I met him, and then in the same trip met Shelley Duncan, another Yankee great who's a minor league coach. And they both said to me, I use your videos to show my kids stuff that I can't explain. And that blew me away because obviously they're big leaguers. They work in baseball. They know it.
Yeah.
And also said that, I did one video where it was a pitcher tipping and the Yankees picking up on it and relaying. And those are a little always dicey. I usually try to run it by some other players to make sure I'm correct. And to hear other people in the world say, I'm so glad you made that video, because that's a part of the game that the general public just doesn't really know about, but is so common. And those are some examples of people, I didn't teach them anything, but they were happy that I was sharing what they knew.
Yeah, and it's also something they don't have time to cover in like the top 10 on Sports Center when they're just showing you highlights or anything like that. So there's something very unique about that, like these intricacies of it that you just can't see on the surface. It makes it more entertaining to watch. Like I will watch you watch baseball. Like I guess it's the most 2024 thing you could think of. But tell me about Warehouse Games. You've created this sports empire around sports, and now you've made your own sports. It is verging on. I know a lot of people have made the basketball comparisons, if you will. But tell me about Warehouse Games. You literally are making your own sports and just filming.
Yeah, I am like a production nut. I did 1 year of film school, and it wasn't even really a great film school, but that led me on my way to think I can produce television. And that's what I've always pictured it as, is more like, if you remember Slam Ball on TBS.
Yes.
And basketball is a great comp, but I was a real world Road Rules, the challenge nut. So it's reality show meets unscripted sports, or I like to say sports with access. You don't need me to lip read because I mic all the players up so you can hear all the drama. And we have professional players that, have hit tons of home runs, or professional cricket players come and play with us. And then you have guys like me who got cut from their high school team and are old and out of shape. And somehow we've done the backyard baseball where we're in a warehouse. So it's a great equalizer. Like the rules are a little nutty. If you hit that wall, it's a double. If you hit that wall, it's a single. So, but it's our own world of silly, and you want to win, but also your friends. And then we have professional play-by-play and sideline who, free reign, make fun of us. Like a little of that MXC where the announcer just ripping on the players. So it's all these elements of my childhood television viewing, and then, taking okay, how can we make hockey like backyard hockey, and baseball like backyard baseball? So it's a lot of fun. It's grown a lot, and we've actually been able to sell distribution now nationally. So our audience has really loved it, and it's a very welcoming community. So if you want to check it out, go watch it live and be in the live chat, because it's thousands of people there reacting in live time and laughing and at us or celebrating us. It's fun.
Is there a time when you're playing a backyard sport as a kid that you never forget? Like there's a basement soccer with a ball stock with my cousins when the World Cup happened in like 94 and 98. And we did an entire tournament and it was one sleepover and we've talked about it for 30 years. Everyone has that. And you're kind of like distilling that as like video whiskey, like what you're giving here. Is there debates? Is there like, that wasn't like, and you've just made the sport up. So it's like a relatively new thing. But it's like in the office, it's just like, come on, Jimmy, that was BS. Like, why are we going with that? Is there still like a bad call on type of stuff like that?
Yeah, it gets heated. We actually had to declare like official crew chiefs for specific games, like who's got the final say. Because a lot of times I give the broadcasters the say on replays. It's fully equipped, 16 different cameras. We got a broadcast truck. It's all DIY. Like we built it ourselves, taught ourselves how to do it. And I give the play-by-play guy the replay duties. And sometimes they really don't want that job because you got a lot of players on the floor looking up at them like, well, pretty fun.
So let's talk World Series. Probably the most expensive to attend World Series of all time. Maybe the most watched World Series of all time. Someone in a TV executive office must have been wearing diapers when they found out they were getting New York versus LA, Yankees versus Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani is obviously going to have all of Japan and most of Asia watching this game. Who do you got? Is it your Yankees or is it your Dodgers?
I'm going to say my Yankees. And I don't know if I believe it yet, but I'm going to say Yankees. I think the Dodgers are the favorite, but it is pretty close. I thought the Dodgers would be a little more of the favorite because their star power up top is what the Dodgers have is they have star power at the top of their lineup and then veterans at the bottom of the lineup. And their bullpen is a lot of veterans that have been there before, where the Yankees bottom half is a lot of younger first-time guys, and their bullpen is first-time players that haven't been there before. So they might have the edge there, just in experience in big moments. But yeah, you're right. Like this is a great World Series for third party viewers. And sometimes, this is a Chicago station. You guys might be too bitter or too upset because it is such a regional sport that when your team's out, you stop paying attention, which is all right. That's what baseball is built. But people that don't have a diehard fandom and just want to check out what this is, it's going to be a spectacle and a show, and the star power and names is unbelievable. So I am very excited for people to meet Judge, Ohtani, all these players.
Well, I'm a White Sox fan, so it's nice to see professional baseball. So that's been a fun thing here. So you're feeling good about this. I agree with you. It is kind of does have that superstar spectacle, but I do have to bring it back to Chicago baseball. Obviously, we have a rich history. We have some weird controversy. The White Sox with the absolute worst single season record of all time. How, in comparison, for your lexicon of knowledge, your encyclopedia of everything you could pull, how truly bad was this White Sox team?
Yeah, they were really bad because the scores were bad. The bullpen, even games that they were in or were winning, then they turn it to the bullpen and then it was just done. Like that losing streak, you had some good starts from the young pitchers, blanking on their names, but I was looking at the game log. I'm like, wait, that's not that bad. That's not that bad. And then they just handed the bullpen and it's over. And then the sloppiness in the infield was something that like really jarred me when I would go pull up highlights of plays and second baseman stealing the ball from the shortstop or just triple bouncing a throw from the outfield. It was like, whoa. There was a big drop off there, huh? In just general baseball skill. You don't like to see.
And then we also have a White Sox team that may or may not be sold. So you buy the White Sox. What's the most ridiculous thing you would do, and what's the most legitimate? Like, we got to do this. Give me the silly first, and then give me the dessert first, and then we can move our way into the steak. You buy the White Sox. What are you doing?
I go pillage an employee from the Royals and the Rays. The Royals just, Quatraro came there and they had a terrible season. And there's an article saying as soon as they got eliminated as soon as the regular season ended, they met and they're like, we got to build up the analytics department and we got to get us some more, knowledge of what we want to do. They flipped the script in 1 year. So I think the awareness of we need to go get people that have, get a collection of your enemies, get some secrets and some intel. So it all starts with drafting the right people. You saw what the Orioles, they saw what Houston did. They went and got this guy. His name is Sig Medell, I believe. He built the Astros. The Orioles said, why don't you come here and help build us? And now the Orioles have a ton of studs. So you got to go find guys like that the public doesn't know their names. They're way behind the scenes, but they can build you players through the draft and through all that. And then publicly, just be honest with the audience. You know, the Cubs, when Theo came, he said it's a 5-year plan. And the team said, ugh. But then in 5 years,
we paid off.
Flying the W. So
yeah,
a little honesty, like, we plan on fixing this, but it's not going to be next year.
As a baseball fanatic, you come to Chicago. Have you been to both ballparks?
Yes, I lived in Illinois for a couple of years for middle school. I lived in Lake Zurich. So
okay, so you know what's up. You've gotten some rub on you. What is the quintessential experience of Chicago baseball? Obviously, it's Wrigley. There's something special about that. There's something special about taking the red line to either stadium. What's an experience you had that's like the ridiculous Chicago baseball experience?
Yeah, I think paying to park in someone's tiny garage outside of Wrigley, and it's just like a guy standing in his driveway or sitting on a folding chair, and you pay him, and he moves his car out and puts your car in, and then going and taking in a day game at Wrigley. That's like, I mean, I was young when we went, but that's my biggest memory. It's like, this is where we're parking. Because other places have these big parking lots and these structures. Like, this is this guy's garage. It's like pictures and his like tennis racket right next to the car.
Absolutely. So it's a wild time. Warehouse games. Is there a new sport in warehouse games that we haven't seen yet that's coming? By the way, you guys can check it out. The whole seasons are up on YouTube.
So this upcoming tournament is Blitzball, which is the baseball adjacent one and the most popular. We did invent our own sport called slapball. It's a mixture of handball and basketball and soccer. I don't even know. It's really fun. It's like a PE class sport.
Okay.
The next one I want to try this year is giant 3-on-3 pickleball. The pickleball is a pretty boring watch. It's very fun to play.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, how can we make it interesting to watch? And we're thinking if it's really like a giant court, like the whole warehouse floor with maybe like a 7-foot high net, with volleyball, but pickleball. So we might try that this year.
Yeah. Call your grandparents, everybody. Get them to stretch for JOMBOY's new pickleball game. Warehouse Games is up now on YouTube. Of course, JOMBOY on YouTube. He seems like he's confident about his Yankees here on this World Series, but we'll see.
Sure.
And I'm just hopeful the White Sox stay in Chicago. Do the White Sox stay in Chicago? You don't think they move?
Yeah, no, they can't let that happen. They can't let that happen. I think they stay in Chicago.
Yeah. And it was a relief when the commissioner of the league the other day said we're confident that we're going to keep 2 teams in Chicago. So I was like, all right, the commissioner of the league is sort of saying it. So there's a little bit of a kibosh there. But if the team was to move, that would be kind of heartbreaking. It would not convert me to being a Cubs fan. I tolerate the Cubs as like my neighbor as a White Sox fan. You know, I'm like happy for you. It's good. I'll come. I'll buy you a beer when your kid has a birthday or something like that. But you know, that's about it.
You get a new team. That's how the Mets got formed. That's why the Mets they're the Dodgers colors and the Giants colors, because all the Dodgers and Giants fans that lost their teams, they waited 10, 12 years, and the Mets came and they said, well, we'll be both fan bases.
We'll just megaloid 2 different teams together or something like that. Yeah. Thank you so much for the time, JOMBOY. Obviously, everyone follows stuff. If you want to know what's actually happening behind the baseball bats and everything and all the sports, it's the best version of sports breakdowns ever. Like this is what you miss in sports media is what you're getting with JOMBOY. So definitely go check it out. Thank you for the time, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.